Welcome to Inside the Studio with Greg Wurth. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about this really cool tube equalizer by Acustica Audio called Cobalt. This is based on basically a hardware unit that, as far as I know, there's only one that exists, but I might be wrong about that. There's a mastering engineer in Italy who designed this. Basically, he teamed up with Acustica to create a replica in a plug-in form. And here it is as Cobalt. So basically similar to like a Pultec type of design, but it's expanded upon that. The aim for this is to be a master bus EQ for like mastering or maybe on your mix bus. But of course you can use it on anything that, a tube EQ would sound good on. This example, I got a drum track that I'm going to put it on. I'm just going to mess around with it. What's different than, like, say, a Pultec style EQ is those don't let you individually select the low band that you're going to boost and cut. It shares the settings, which has a unique characteristic on its own. But this is an expansion of that kind of topology. And they put a section here for just low cut, and you can select the frequency at which you want to cut all the way up to 10 dB or whatever, and then you can select your low boost here. And in the middle, which is interesting, they have a high boost, which is a shelf, and they put that before the presence. So that's a little different. Usually the upper mid range is behind the top end. This one goes all the way up to 20K. And you have a continuous bandwidth control that adjusts here, and you got the presence, and then you got a high cut, and then you have input trim, and then individual output of the left and right channels, and over here is a link. So if you want to link the channels, you just hit that. And then also it's got a preamp stage, which pretty much all the acoustic audio stuff models that, which is the actual circuit, the amplifier circuit and whatnot. And that imparts a color on its own, and you can decide to engage it or not, which is really cool. So let's just take a listen here. Okay, well, that's a sound that I really like. I started with the cut and I found kind of a spot that I wanted to do a low cut to sort of tighten up and refocus that energy in the low end. And then I found that around 60 hertz was a nice little bump for the low end. And then I jumped over here to the presence band here. And I was torn between the 7.5 and 5 kilohertz boost, but it sounded nice. It brought that snare out, and it just kind of took a little bit of a blanket off of it and just opened it up a tad. And then just to give a little more air, I added that 20 kilohertz shelf here. And just to mess around, I used the high cut. But for this particular instance, I wouldn't use the high cut. I kept the preamp in. I felt that added a little bit of nice harmonics. Not too much color, but just a little sparkle around it to just kind of glue everything together nicely. This is a really nice EQ. It sounds great. I suggest you check it out. Thanks for watching Inside the Studio with Greg Wurth. Make sure to subscribe to the newsletter on my website and subscribe to the YouTube channel here and give me some likes and comments. I want to hear from you. I'll check you out next time.